YouTube viewers, fellow traders, and those who are just curious. I'll be right back, and we're gonna get this session going. Let me put my head down here so you can see me. I'll be right back. Let me go get my coffee. Okay. All right. Welcome, welcome. Well, this has been a crazy morning already, and it has nothing to do with my trading. Actually, the lack thereof. I missed a move in the middle of the night that I thought my computer was going to be able to catch, and so I woke up to see that, and that's a huge tilt trigger for me when I expect something and it doesn't happen. So today I'm already started off on really shaky ground before even looking at the charts. When I first started trading, well, first of all, my name is MrJosephTrades. Thanks for joining me. For all those who want to see how I trade, I try to help people understand what's going on in my mind, and maybe you can learn something that'll help you in your trading. That's my goal. We all look at the charts in different ways. We all look at the markets in different ways. And one of the beautiful things about the markets is if you find something that works for you, it doesn't matter how you look at it. So when somebody insists that their way is the only way to trade, just be patient with them and nod, but know that if you find something that works for you, that you believe in, there are literally thousands of ways to make money in the markets. So if you have your strategy that you believe in, if you have the right mental makeup, the psychology, the discipline, shout out to DGen Rehab if you see this. She just started a channel recently and let me put that I was doing this thing on her comment section, so I appreciate that, DGen Rehab. So before the market opens in 9 minutes, let's take a look. Let's see if we have any red folder news today. It's one of the first things I do is check for red folder news. I don't want to be in a discretionary trade when red folder news is about to break. I always like to wait at least a few minutes after and then trade the reaction. I don't gamble on red folder news. It can be exciting and fun, but that's not trading, that's gambling. So I'm a trader. Let's see. We have no red folder news in the U.S. today. some in different parts of the world, but none in the U.S. So now let's take a look at the charts. Make sure my microphone is doing good. It looks like it's picking up what I'm saying. Let me show you what I'm looking at. First, we're going to look at the 4 hour to get our high time frame bias. Price is currently above this EMA. These are the last couple of 4 hour bars. We've got higher lows. We've got an obvious resistance level that price is trying to get above currently. We'll see if it's going to be successful or not. If it can push above this resistance level, there are a few targets it could head to. You got a pivot point right there. You've got some buy side liquidity over here, meaning those are stop losses for market players who were short at this point. They're going to have to buy back their positions if price gets above their stop loss. So when that happens, that provides fuel. That provides fuel to moves. One thing about markets when you're trading, you always want to be aware of where people's pain is, and so if you know where stop losses are, that can fuel moves. That's something to always be aware of. Okay, let's take a look now at the 15-minute chart. I like to drill down with a 4, 15, and 5 minute is my execution time frame. So on the 15-minute chart, you see some things. We have a market currently in an uptrend. Price is well above this 200 EMA. It's above the VWAP. It's above the prior session high. That's what this red ray is. We've got some pivot points up above. Let's see. The overnight, I don't know if you can see it real clearly, but the overnight low is right here. There's a pivot point and there's the prior session low. So these are all key levels for me that I mark up before I begin trading, because it gives me a context in which to understand, and what price is doing at that moment. And keep in mind, when you're trading, price can do anything. Your job is just to wait for your ideal setup or signal and then execute. And after that, after you've gotten the proper risk and your stop loss in place and you've accepted the loss before the trade is even executed, then it's just a matter of probabilities, and you have to learn to be okay with whatever happens after you enter the trade, because price does anything it wants. You have no control over it. Retail players like us, we have no control over price. But the beauty of what we get to do is we get to be very nimble. And so we can see what the big guys are doing as they're pushing price to test certain levels and to take bets on the direction they think things are going to go. And we can benefit from that. And keep in mind, even among institutional players and the big guys and all these algos, you've got dozens of different categories of players. You've got let's see, pension funds, which can only be long for a long period of time. They have a real long-term horizon, all the way down to high-frequency trading firms, which scalp amounts so small and so quick you cannot comprehend it, and everything in between. So what's amazing to me about the markets is that all of these players, from the biggest lowest time frame players to the high frequency time frame scalpers, when they all get together, repeatable patterns occur and repeatable behavior occurs, and that's what allows you to get an edge as a retail trader. if you can learn pattern recognition and have an understanding of where price is likely to go based on imbalances in buy and sell orders, and in key levels that it tends to test, then you can do well if you then develop the patience and discipline to stick with your plan. That's another matter. That takes months to get to, if not years. And that's where I am right now. I've gotten my strategies that I'm very, very comfortable with, that I believe in, and right now I'm working on honing my mental game, as they say, and my discipline. So we've got 3 minutes till the market opens. Let's see what's going on here. 15-minute chart. The past few hours we've been in some non-trending chop. It looks like price wanted to try to get above this resistance level, but as you can see right now, there's some selling going on. Let me zoom in a little bit. I like to look at the 15-minute. Let me make sure my trading, my execution platform is pulled up properly. Let's see. Okay. Today I'm going to be copy trading 3 take profit evals, and so since these are evals, I'm going to take only my good setups, but I'm going to use a little bigger sizing because they're not quote unquote real money. I have my other accounts that have more at stake running in the background. But to help me develop my discipline when I'm being discretionary, that's what you're going to see me trade today. So this is the 5-minute chart on my NinjaTrader execution platform. You can see it's a lot more clean than the trading view. The trading view has every level marked up. This is just simply my execution platform. All you'll see on it is the 21 EMA and some pivot points. This is where I can control my position size. This shows what I'm trading. I'm trading the MNQ, which expires this month at the end of the month. Pretty soon it will be time to roll it over. It's not time yet. I'll tell you how you know that sort of thing in a second. Less than a minute till market open. Let's see what happens. I don't usually do anything in the first minute unless there's an obvious trade to take. I like to give it some time to settle down. Let's see. Check something out. All right, market just opened. Looks like we got a bear move. Probably gonna fake some people out. Wouldn't surprise me to see some buying going on. Let's go back to trading view. Here's the 15-minute. Gives me a bigger context of what's happening. All right, if price keeps rotating down, one place I could see it going to that makes sense is around this VWAP level. And why might that be? Well, because there was a breakout higher and could be a pullback here. You see this level right here. We change that to blue. So price broke out above this level. It could pull back. There again, it could keep going higher, but that's just a logical level. These key levels like EMAs and VWAP, they tend to attract price. So if it doesn't decide to be attracted lower, let's see if it decides to be attracted higher. Only time will tell. We're going fishing today. It's like, MrJosephTrades, what are you talking about? You're not in your fishing gear. Well, when I trade, I think about it like fishing, because you have to have extraordinary patience to do it well, just like trading. All right, look at this. So now we've got some buyers stepping in. Let's go to the 5 minute and see if we can drill down a little more into the price action. I didn't mean to do that. All right, let's see. Uh-oh. Let me load where did my 5 minute go? There it is. I don't know why it's there for some reason, but that's okay. I don't know what I did, but I'm going to load it back on this one so I can see everything nice and neat. There's my 15 minute. Let's see. Open layout. 5 minute. There we go. I've had all sorts of technical difficulties today. All right, look at this. We got a break. I think it's gonna, if this candle closes above this level, it could head to this pivot point. 45, 45, 35. But it's got to close strong. You always want to wait. Always want to wait until the candle closes. Because a lot of times when price is in a range of some sort, it doesn't break out like you think. But it still could, certainly. Let's see. If it gets above this level, I'm going to place an entry. 35 seconds. All right, let me go to my execution platform. I got to accept my risk first. Let's go with 3 today. So I'm going to be stopped in right here if it gets above it. Let's see, it's looking 12 seconds to close. My stop's going to be around here. I'll show you. Around 12. All right, I'm going to be stopped in. Okay. All right, let's target around there. Let me get back to my... I want to be taking profit at 55. Let me move my take profit up there. Turn this, come on price, turn my crosshair off. Let's see. We're in profit so far. I'm going to move my stop loss below this entry candle to decrease risk a little. So far so good. Let's see if we keep getting the push. Almost there. Come on. Come on, baby. Punch it, punch it. All right. Nice trade, nice trade. Okay, let's see. Wow, that was really good. Wow, and it keeps going. But you know what? Sometimes that'll happen. You don't want to be greedy in the markets. You want to have your plan. My plan in that situation. Wow, look at that. Where's the next target possible? I better be prepared if it keeps going higher. Wow, that was something. This is a 15-minute candle. Did you see what happened? I had my levels marked. See, on NinjaTrader, the pivot point was up here. But on TradingView, it was right here. So to not be greedy, I always go for the closer of the two. And at the market open, you'll often see, whoa, okay, it keeps going up. I better get prepared. Let's see. 24, if it gets within a certain number of points of the pivot point, that's when I enter, because I've done back testing that indicates a high percentage of it getting up to that point. I'm looking at the big picture here. There's the 4 hour. See what I mean? The stops of these people on the 4 hour, right now they're getting cooked. See, the market, all it is a mechanism to match buy and sell orders. So there are a lot of buy orders right here. Buy to cover. That's what you have to put in as a stop loss when you're short. It's called a buy to cover. And so, wow, that felt really good. I'm glad that happened on my live stream. Yesterday I struggled my first couple of trades. But one thing also, when you have a winner right out of the gate, like I just did, is you have to avoid going in for another one. I love starting off with a win like that. But now we have to wait and get calmed down. And here we have our first chat member, Dr. Newman. I see you, fam. Hey, I'll get better. I am here, sir. I was focused on that trade. Did you see it? I'm already up for the day. A nice trade out of the gate. Yeah, that was a nice one. That's one of my A setups, and has a very high win rate now. Look at price. Keeps having some buying pressure. Let's look at the 15-minute candle for context. The true buying pressure will be revealed. Yeah, no kidding. That was excellent, man. But you know what? That's in the past now. Now I just have to keep looking at the charts and keep going fishing. I caught my first fish on the first cast. It was like that time we went trout fishing in Helen, and you just kept catching fish after fish while I was waiting around, just waiting around in awe. So that's what that felt like to me, was when we were fly fishing, and you weren't fly fishing. That's the reason you kept catching them, because you were using a spinning reel. So, but anyway, all kidding aside, we need to go fishing again. Let's see what price does now. All right. So this is the 15-minute candle. From the open, it tested this key level, which was a pivot point. And now, with 3 minutes to go, there seems to be some selling coming in. Now, psychologically, you have to think about what people are doing. There are a lot of people who missed this entire move because they were scared to get in. and now they're buying, and right as they're buying, there's selling coming in. So they're hoping that this candle closes strong for a continuation. I hope it has a, well, that's a good question. That's a good question. You can certainly do a counter trend trade at the pivot if the right signal appears and if your sizing is proper. Let's look at the 5 minute. And in fact, we might be in store for that. I'm not going to take a short because I trade with the higher time frame bias. And as you can see right now, the higher time frame bias is definitely bullish. But if you were feeling lucky, the odds are that it is going to reverse about 10 o'clock. And so far we've got selling coming in after price tested that pivot point. So it would not surprise me at all to see price coming back down to test it. It also wouldn't surprise me to keep it going up, possibly, but I trade with higher time frame. So let's just look, wait and look and see. You know, a lot of people like to call tops and bottoms, and you can do that if it's a real strong signal. Let's see, with 1:13 to go, this is the 5 minute. We've got some sellers coming in. Have to be, I'll try not to talk when I type, that must be annoying. Counter trade situation. All right, we've got buyers stepping in. This thing might keep going higher. Look, in the last minute, look, the people who were short right here might be getting a little concerned because of the buying coming in. You see that lower wick? Let's see what happens with these last 15 seconds. Oh, I didn't know you could hear me. I thought you were at the gulag. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll keep monitoring. Okay. Thank you for the advice. We have a possible bull flag situation right here. Let me show you. If price can get above this high, it could keep punching to this next pivot point because it will run the stops of the people who went short. But it's, for me, not an ideal bull flag, only because on this, what I call the pole candle, there was selling on the bar. But just a little bit. It might be worth a small poke. Let's see. 25613.25 would be my entry. I think it has a chance of continuing, but I'm going to go small. Let's see. 613.25. All right. If it gets above that, now look what's happening. As soon as I place my buy order, here comes, you're talking about a short. Wow, somebody's shorting. But it could still be a bull flag too. You just don't know. But the odds are it reverses back down. Look at this selling coming in. I don't think I would want to take the flag now, because if I entered at 613.25, if I entered there, my stop would have to be like 40 points lower. And that's on just one contract, $80 of risk. But there again, Here come some buyers. Something to keep in mind with NASDAQ. Yeah, it could be. Time will tell. NASDAQ also often has a reversal at 10 o'clock. Very common. But then again, if this is one of those days where the computers are running, we could get a push higher. It's looking bullish now. I'm going to put my long order back on. Look at that. It's looking real bullish. 613.25. Come on. 613. It's a little hard to get. There we go. That's exactly where I want it. If it keeps going higher. If not, then I'll buy if it retests the 21 EMA. See, I like putting my entries where I know the pain of the opposite side is. So if people are short right here and they're going to have to buy back, I want to enter right where they have to buy back their shorts. I bet they're hoping that it keeps going down, but they might be getting a little nervous. Let's see. Expand this so you can see it a little better. We got 1:40 until this close of this candle. There's some buyers. One thing that increases the odds of this is occurring above the pivot point, which is a key level. So if it gets above here and keeps going on, that'll act as a support. Let's look at the trading view chart. Then again, it might just keep rotating down. All right, with a minute to go, it's looking more bearish now. I'm thinking they want to take it and test this 21 EMA if it closes bearish. All right, well, let's see. I want to give a disclaimer. This is not financial advice. Please do not copy my trades. Please learn from my trades. Trade for yourself, but I'm flattered if you have the same idea. But at this point, it's looking a little more bearish than bullish. See how the sellers are coming in? I might take this buy order off. It's not looking so bullish anymore. But although let's see what happens. 3 minis. Wow. Valhalla indeed. You know, it could still go higher. The longer a bull flag takes to consolidate, the stronger the move. But I smell a possible test to the 21 EMA. Uh-oh. Then again, maybe I just smell. That's a possibility too. All right, my order's still set. If it gets triggered, my stop is going to be at 575.50. So it's about 40 points of risk. I always put my stop. It could be a big bull flag. I always put my stop beneath the entry candle. And then I trail it, 1 bar trailing stop. Looking bullish. Keep in mind, this could also be the form of a big range. Like it might chop around. But it's very possible that this could be a bull flag. Is it the prettiest bull flag? No, it's not. Let's check out the 15-minute. Yeah, you got 8 minutes to go. My target, if this triggers me long, is obviously this pivot point. Let's see if there's anything to the left. Nothing to the left but green space. There is a swing high right there. If it goes, I might take my profit target to about a little under 700 because that's a psych level. And there's, oh, look at this. Here comes some buyers. All right, let's get ready to execute this bull flag. Stop loss is 575.50. Okay. Let's take a look at our execution platform. Some bears are about to be ticked, but the bulls might be ticked if they immediately reverse it. Let's see what happens. Yes, this is the 5 minute. I always execute on the 5 minute on NinjaTrader when I'm trading discretionary. All right. Let's see. If this starts going, my take profit is going to be the psych level of 698. Well, it's either going to work out or it's not. So use a size where you don't have to be clinched. If you're clinched, that means your sizing's too big. That's why I only have one micro on. You got to listen to your body. Your body will tell you if you're, oh, there's a disappointment. Look at that. Here comes that possible test of the 21 EMA. If it goes down there, we might be given a very good chance to buy low. I always prefer to buy lower than higher. But bull flags are about one of the only cases I'll buy higher, because when a bull flag works out, what you thought was high turns out to be low. This is not looking very promising for bulls. I think we're gonna test and look, it's nearly 10 o'clock. I was talking about the 10 o'clock reversal. Very possible that we get a reversal down to this 21 EMA. Now, this is some ugly action. Look at this. Look, you see these wicks? We've got overlapping candles. It's getting a little ugly and choppy. I like it when things move nice like this. But you don't always get that. It's like when you're fishing with Dr. Newman, you know, you see him catch fish right when he throws the lure in, and then you're waiting around tripping over rocks with nothing to show for it. That's, well, I would rather think about waiting to go long, because the higher time frame bias is long. If the higher time frame bias was short, I would do it. That being said, if you feel aggressive, there's a lot of liquidity that could be taken right here, but you know, I try to go with the higher time frame trends. And look at this. All you had to do was think about going short. If this turns out to be a bull flag, it could have a lot of fuel. Why? Oh, okay, my bias for the day is based on the 4-hour time frame right here. And simply put, if price is above the EMA, my higher time frame bias is a bullish. And vice versa. When it's below the EMA, my higher time frame bias is bear, is short. And on the 15 minute, you're seeing some buying coming in. These shorts must be getting frustrated. We've got 4 minutes until the close. Oh, here's another indicator I like to use. Look over here. This is called volume by price. This looks a little rangy. Look at all the white is buying and the purple is selling. Look at all the activity that occurred around this price. And then price broke above it to test this level. Look on the way up to the pivot point, there was nothing but, look at that consistent buying activity. That was computers pushing it up to the pivot point. And now, in my opinion, I don't think there were retail traders who were that coordinated of exactly the same amounts. The EMA, the 21 EMA is on the 5 minute. I'll show that to you in a second. But look at the volume by price once it got to the pivot point. There's a little more selling than buying going on. But that being said, it could still go higher. Let's flip back to the 5 minute. All right. So here's the 21 EMA on the 5 minute. Currently around 532. 25, 532. All right, here comes some buyers. You still have your buy order set? Yeah, volume by price is useful. Here's volume by price on the 5 minute chart. It shows you what happened after that break above this range. Nothing but buying up to this level, which is why this was such a nice fat candle. Look at that, nothing but white. And then once we got above there, there's some indecision going on. But all told, it looks to me like there's a little more buying that's selling. And my chart, look, my chart shows when it changes. It's pretty cool because you can see the bars change before the price does. Hey buddy, I think we're about to get a bull flag pop. All right, 15 minute, looking good. We've got 1 minute and 44 to go. Look at that. Place your stop at 561 if you're going to get long above this first 15-minute candle, would be my advice. Let's see what happens. We got 2 minutes until that magical 10 o'clock hour. Here's my coffee mug. Sorry I wasn't listening, I was thinking about trading. Props to Emily Gober. All right, buyers, you gonna make the bulls pay? Looks like they may. Remember, once we're in the trade, whatever happens, my opinion is not financial advice. Anything I say on this channel is for entertainment purposes and education purposes only. I have to say that. I need to come up with a disclaimer thing that shows at the beginning of my live stream. Now with 22 seconds left, we've got some indecision. I'm hoping we get a bullish pop. I just want to see it go higher to this pivot. Let's see what we have. It's looking more bullish than bearish, but it would have been a lot more bullish if it closed up. Okay, I've seen this before. Get ready to be tagged in. Initial stop's gonna be 561. And then I'll trail it after this candle closes. Let me go to NinjaTrader. Get ready. Initial stop 561. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's a lot of risk, but keep in mind I'm only using 1 micro and I'm on eval accounts, so big deal. 5, here we go, we're about to get tagged in. All right, we're in. 5, 6, and look, they took some stops. This might be a big range, but I'm going to go ahead and put my take profit up around this psych level if it works out. All right, now we just have to see what happens. Hey, so far so good. All right, I'm going to add, if it keeps going up, psych levels are another area that love to get hit. What do I mean by psych levels? I'm talking hundreds. So what I'm going to do is if it gets to about 78, I'm going to add some contracts because at that point it'll be real likely to make it to the psych level. All right, we're in our trade. We're up. Well, it's going. Here we go. Can you take me higher? my take profit's actually going to be 98. I like to front run my take profits by a couple of points. Let's see if I can, there we go. Now don't get too excited, this might be a fake out. Oh man, you need to get Ninja Trader, man. You gotta have a stop loss, you gotta have a take profit. Here we go, looks like it, to me, looks pretty bullish, but we shall see. I think it's going to at least have a pretty good chance of getting to this psych level. Yeah, if you're using real money, you might want to use a little tighter stop, like below the entry candle. Once this entry candle closes, I'll move my stop beneath it. Looks like some buyers are coming in. But now some the sellers don't want to give up. But this looks pretty good so far with a minute to go. Yeah, that's a good feeling for sure. Got a minute left. What I don't want to see if I'm in this trade is it selling off and rotating back down, but that's very, very possible, and that's okay. And see, they're trying to make that happen, but there are some bulls who want to push it to the psych level. So let's see who has a stronger conviction. So at 45 seconds, I raise my stop to below the entry bar. That way, at least my risk is lower. That's no problem. You always want to be using a size that doesn't make you clinch up. 24 seconds. We're up 15 points or so, a little lower now. That's okay. Let's just see if it keeps popping. It could. All right, now I raise my stop loss to reduce my risk. Now, if we get a pop to the psych level, it could be quick. All right, looking good. Okay. Come on, bulls. Pop them up. Let's go. Is Declan watching me? Hey, Declan. Declan, do you think the Bulls are going to win or the Bears? Looks like the Bulls are in control. So far. Anything can change. I want to see it get up to that psych level. And if this trade wins, I close out. It might reverse on me. Just got to keep steady. Hey, all right. I like it, Holden. We could be in some trouble here. See, now we just wait. Let's see, we've got 3 minutes left in the candle. Is Sammy there? Hey, Sammy. So what I'll I'll do is after this candle closes, I'll raise my stop to right below it. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and at worst, not take a loss. Don't want to take a loss if I can avoid it. Hopefully the bulls keep pumping it higher. Risk management. Worst case is this is a flat trade. Yeah. Mine is at 623. Come on, bulls. Come on. Push it higher. All right, looking good. Take it to the psych level. This might be a chopped channel type of day. But ideally we get a push to the psych level before it rotates back down. Those are fun days to trade. Yeah, this is a huge battle. Think of all the institutions across the world right now running programs. That's what you're seeing. And we're just watching it take place. That's what's so interesting about this. Looks like the bullish programs are in control at the moment. Uh-oh, here we go. The pink line, that's a additional order for me to go long if it gets close to the psych level. You see at 98? If it gets that close to the psych level, it's got a real good chance of pushing all the way up there. So that's the cherry on top. So right now you see my initial position, which is up 26 points. I've got my first stop loss right above it, so there's no risk on the trade. I've got a buy stop to add 6 more, and I've got a sell limit at 98. And right now it's looking pretty good with a minute left. Let's see what happens. Exactly. My whole trading is built around the concept of magnets. That's what it's all based on. And why magnets? Because it's liquidity. And levels that institutions like to test. All right, come on, bulls. Let's go. You got 24 seconds to close strong. Come on. Raise my stop to right below it just to lock in a few more. Worst case scenario is it's a 5-point winner. If that was a NQ, it'd be $100, but there we go. We're gonna get stopped out. All right. If it keeps going, I'm gonna look what they just did. They took my stop and they might keep pushing it. If it keeps going higher, I'm gonna put in my order again to get to the psych level. A lot of times they'll run stops and keep the move going. But in this case, it looks like we might have a bearish rotation down to the 21 EMA. It's possible. Let's take a look back at the trading view chart. Well, that was a winner. It wasn't as big as we wanted, but at least it wasn't a loss. And in trading, when you can keep the losses, a lot less than the winners, you're going to be good over the long term. Look, we might be in store for a channel type of day. If that's the case, you're going to get a really good long entry around here. So let's be patient and wait and see what happens. So you see the volume by price showing the buying and selling. Let's see. So yeah, that was a bull flag. It was a successful one, but it wasn't as much as we liked, but still it worked. So when I do my data, fortunately that'll come in as a winner. See, that's a bull flag. When I looked here before it broke, I had my order above there, and then it broke just like you want it to see. You have 1 bar trailing stop and you locked in profit. And that's what it's all about. All right, what's going on here with these institutions battling? Let's see. Are we going to enter a chop zone, or are we going to make a move? When it broke out of this flag, I was really hopeful it was going to make a push to the psych level, and it may still do that if it frustrates the bears who shorted here. Let's look at the 15-minute for context. There's a minute 58 to close. If it can get above the high, I think it's going to pump up to the psych level. So I'm going to place a buy stop at 655. 655. I'm going to try to re-enter this for a push to the psych level. Yeah, let's see what happens. Again, I'm trading eval accounts. I'm trading evals. So the sizing I'm using is, it doesn't make me clench up. Yeah, this is a pretty bullish looking candle. If I was a bear right now, I'd be sort of worried. If it pumps and keeps going, 698 is my target. Let's see what happens. We got a minute left. It could also keep chopping around in a range. When you see all these wicks, what that really means is a lot of indecision. Like right in this range, there was indecision until the bulls decided to end that, at least for a bar. And hey, if you scalped this, you could have had like 15 points within 30 seconds. Yes, I am copy trading today. I'm copy trading 3 take profit trader evals. They actually have a sale going on right now through Friday, which is great. If you put in their code, I think it's called no fee 100. You get 30% off the price, and you don't have to pay an activation fee if you pass. All right, let's see if we get tagged into this trade. Come on, bulls. Let's take it to the psych level before we... would I ever put a buy order at the support level from a previous move higher? Well, I'm not sure I understand what you mean, Doctor. Are you talking about resistance? Explain it to me, sir. Oh, yeah, you can do that. When people use limits to enter, certainly that would be a breakout pullback. That can be a very successful strategy. I don't really like limit orders because, just for me, I like to see price proving what it's going to do. You're talking about like right here. Yeah, I mean, you could have been re-entered there, see, and you immediately would have been rewarded with that. That's what Trades by Matt does. He calls those wick tests. So yeah, you can do that. It's just not my style, because to me, it's like standing in front of a train. Like if you had an order to get in here after it tested this wick, what if you get tagged in and it keeps moving down? Then you take a big loss. So yeah, it can work out for sure, but it can also pop up and give you like a 20-point profit. So certainly it can work if that's your personality. That's not my personality. I like to see it prove where it's going to go by the momentum it exhibits. So, well, you could call it a breakout pullback zone or support. Exactly. You can call it what you like. You're talking about this area. Yeah, certainly. And see what happened? It tested it and it went higher. So definitely. Yep. That's good thinking. It's just for me, in the way I trade, I don't like using limit orders to enter. I like to use stops to get in because I just like to see that price has got momentum behind it. So that's just me. I'm not telling anybody that they shouldn't do it. I mean, have you seen what Trades by Matt does? Good grief. With his wick tests, he copy trades like 20 Apex accounts, and that move would have made $400 on one account. So on that one trade, that little wick test, that would have been an 400 times 20. That's an $8,000 day. Yeah. I have a feeling that what we're shaping in for is like a channel day though. Because price seems to have stalled around here. And when you see bars, every big bar on some time frame is like a range, believe it or not. Even though it's a breakout on some time frame, that's the bottom and that's the top. So to increase my odds for a successful trade, I want to be long today. I'm going to wait until it gets down around here, or I'm going to get in when the market exhibits momentum to keep going higher. Let's look at the 15-minute again. See, we could be getting set up for a bull flag on the 15-minute time frame, depending on how this candle closes. Let's look at it. But it looks to me like we might getting a reversal. See, it just went through that. All right, let's go back to the 5. We got some things happening now. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my buy order on this and prepare for a long entry to a swing high if price moves back down to the 21 EMA. Let's see. Let's give it some time to decide what it wants to do. Whoever is in the chat right now, welcome. Whoever's in the live stream, welcome, welcome. Welcome to MrJosephTrades. Let me try that again. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Welcome to MrJosephTrades, where I try to trade transparently and show you how I think about the markets. I don't want you copy trading me. I just want to offer you something to learn so that you can think about markets for yourself. So now look, we have to think about pain. People who went long here have got pain beneath here. So it's feasible that price will go here, and first stop is test the 21 EMA. It's also feasible that we get a chop range in here because again, look at the indecision going on right now. In fact, you've got, looks like an ugly little triangle, possibly. Let me draw some trend lines. Look at that ugly little triangle. I hate triangles. Yeah, it might. A triangle consolidation. All right. I'm going to place a buy stop order above this candle if it closes strong at 644.5. Because look at the 15-minute. I mean, there hasn't been a bearish close yet. I still think it wants to grind higher. You know, there's a saying that says never short a dull market. Right now, it's looking pretty dull. All right, the high is 644.25. Whoops. Let's put a buy stop in. I'm gonna go buy stop right there. All right, we might be getting our break. If we break, I'm gonna layer in to the psych level, right about there. About 30 points below it. Let's see if we get a break. It maybe it might just keep rotating in this channel, but we shall see. Yeah, there's some buying going on, but look at the overlap of the candles. So this might also be a range where the breakout above it fails. Really, a bull flag or a consolidation is nothing more than a range, you know. And eventually all ranges break out. But 80% of the time they don't. That's according to Al Brooks, one of the masters and fathers of price action. He compiled stats for years, and he states numerous times that 80%, I think my size is a little too big on this, but yeah, I'm going to lower my size a little. Okay, there we go. Now I'm not clenched. All right, we're in. Sell right here. Put a target at a psych level. See, this might just be a fake out breakout. Because in ranges, you don't want to buy at the top of the range, you want to buy at the bottom. And we might have just bought at the top. Let me consult my 15-minute chart. So I'm going to put my stop at 604.75. There we go. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to assume we're in a chop range, and I'm going to stay out until we get further proof of anything. But it could still work out. It's just when it breaks out of a range, you want to see it go and not hesitate at all. Like it stalled out right after we got entered. And so to me, that's not a good sign. But I've only got two micros on, so big deal. Yeah, it's looking a little suspect right now. But it could go higher. It can do anything it wants. About to get stopped out. Don't like that. Would have liked to have seen some continuation. See? Now when you take a loss, if we take a loss, you don't want to immediately re-enter. You want to give yourself at least 5 minutes to take a break and reassess the charts. Yeah, this to me looks like a nasty range. I was hoping that it would be you see that was a nice looking bullish candle. And you would have hoped that once it got above there, it would have thrust higher, but I don't think that's in the cards for this trade. All right, that one was a loss. So what I'm going to do now is look at the charts again. 15-minute. We might still be in a consolidation, but I'm not going to re-enter just for the heck of it. I'm going to take a little breather and see what happens. Ugh. All right. I think we're going to get a retest of the 21. Look at this. All right. Look at that. We're going to get a retest of the 21, and then possibly we're going to get a long opportunity. All right, it just retested the 21. Now, does it rotate back down? Look at the session started here. About the 471 level. This could be a good long but the thing is you need a signal candle. I see buying going on, but that's a little too aggressive for me. It's probably going to rotate higher and take out this buy side liquidity. You see how it tested the 21 EMA and buyers have come in? But they might have been a little early to the party. Let's see how this candle closes. There's another possibility. It could keep going down a little and then reverse up. Now, if this starts out, whoa, look at that. Okay, if that starts out bearish, all right, I'm going to put a buy stop at 578. Something tells me it's going to go higher and test the buy side liquidity. All right. Of that big bear candle. Let's see. Ideally, you would want to wait until this candle closes, and it might very well stop me out, but if it does, I can always reassess. Come on, bulls, pump it up. Come on, pop it. Pop it, pop it. Come on, you know you want to. So this is one of my big issues, is not waiting till a signal candle closes. And I might pay the price with this, but it might still keep going higher after it stops me out. I should have waited until this candle closed. But when I saw how it reversed, I've seen a lot of times where you get a dump like this and it tests the 21, and then immediately the big bear candle gets taken out again. But at the same time, I could be early to the party. All right, let's go, bulls. Come on, pop it. Pop it. I don't know, I might have been a little early. If I stay in the trade, I'm going to add to it if this doesn't stop me out, because that'll be an A+ situation. But first, what would have made it A+ execution is not getting in before the signal candle closed. See, we're halfway through the candle, and I'm at risk of getting stopped out because I was impatient for an entry. Yeah, I'm gonna get stopped out. Maybe not. Maybe these bulls can do what I hope they do. Come on, bulls. Yeah, I'm gonna get stopped out, I think. Come on, bulls. What's the low of this candle? The low is 540, so I want my stop at 539. Not 539.25. There we go. And I'm going to get stopped out. And this is why you should not be impatient to enter. See, I'm taking an unnecessary $160 loss, more than likely, because I wanted to enter too early. Come on, bulls. Yeah, I was too early. That's okay. I can keep working on that. Now look what it did now. Now I could re-enter if this closes bullish. There's 49 seconds and now there's buying going on. Okay, I'm going to get another opportunity. Alright, put my buy stop in above the candle again. Let's see what happens. Alright. See, they took my liquidity. They took my stop. And then they started pushing it higher again. Could keep going lower too. Let's take a look at the trading view. Okay. If it gets above this bear candle, I think it's gonna hit the top of this bear candle. My stop will go at 537. Let's see what happens. The top here was 581. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now can the bulls frustrate the bears? You know, this is the second day in a row that I've entered early on a similar situation. Yeah, that's true, but I should not have entered that early. I always start off the session talking about how I'm going to wait, and you saw exactly why I need to keep working on that. I think you'll be okay. Possibly. Now, if it keeps going lower, watch out for a test of VWAP, which is around 511. See, there's a lot of liquidity that can be run right here. in the overall context, this is the 15-minute chart, is bullish. So let's see what happens. If I get triggered into this trade, my stop loss is going to be at 537. My entry would be 581. That's a lot of risk. But I feel pretty good about this trade if I get tagged into it. So 537 and the top is 636. All right, let's get ready. I think I'm about to get my second entry. I've got 4 micros on. I don't know if it's a fib retracement on the 15. I hadn't looked at that. Possibly. Come on, bulls. It's time to make the bears pay now. The bears aren't giving up so easy, are they? They might want to test a lower level. So the mistake I made on that last trade was the same mistake I made yesterday on a similar trade, which is that price tested the 21 EMA. I detected buying going on, and I entered before this signal candle closed. And a lot of times, if you do that, they're going to take your stop loss before they keep running the price in the direction you thought it was going to go. And so that can be maddening. But I think I'm going to get a second chance here. Let's see. If this trade doesn't work, I'm probably done for the day, because then I might be on the verge of getting into a tilt situation. So let's see what happens here and hope for the best. Come on, bulls. With a minute left on this candle, the bulls look like they want to try to rotate it higher, but we're getting some indecision. Come on, bulls. Yeah, if this one loses, I'm shutting her down for the day. I've had a great day, actually. Can't complain about anything. Wow, I've had a really good day. Man. Okay. Come on, bulls. This also may be, okay, here we go. We're about to get it. About to get our entry. About to get our entry. Pop it, pop it. Pop it, pop it. Oh, this life I cannot change. M&M. Sweet like candy cane, pop the top, pop it, let it rain. Now, please keep going higher. Let's go. All right, bears might be feeling a bit of the toast right now. Come on, pop it. Pop it. Now what's hard in these trades is letting it work out and not taking a quick profit. I'm gonna put my take profit to about 36. We're up 10 points. Keep it going, baby. Could encounter some resistance about the 610 level because of a wick test, but if it breaks past that, it should take the liquidity of this entire bearish candle. And it's going to be quick if it happens. Come on. Punch it. Pop it. Pop it, oh, this life I cannot change. Come on, bulls. Let's go. Punch it. Remember, it could encounter some selling around 610 because of this wick test. But then again, these bulls might just make the bears pay. Oh yeah, let's keep going. Keep it going. Whoa yeah, pop it. This is where it gets a little scary because you want to take some profit, but you have to just trust in what you've seen. This is something I've really been struggling with. Do I take a profit now or do I let it run? 35 points, I'm going to take a profit. Can't really complain about that. It's probably going to keep going higher. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to hit my original take profit. I know. It's one of my weaknesses. That's why I have things running in the background. You know it's going to hit it. Here we go. I know. So there are two things I need to work on clearly from today. And they both are fear related. The first is the fear of missing out when I got in early. And the second one is the fear of loss, where I'm nearly certain this is going to reach the full take profit. But I can't re-enter now because that'll be chasing. I hope you're still in it, doctor. If so, you're getting a big payday. Yeah, it's going to hit it. It's got to get to 36. $36. 44 seconds left in the candle. See, I think it's going to get right here, 36. Wish I would have stayed in. But here's the thing, I had 4 micros on, and I was already over 30 points in profit. But look at this. And I've seen this move hundreds of times. At some point I'll be able to just sit with it. Watch. This is where if you're long, you get a little worried when you see that initial bearish reaction. But more than likely it's going to rotate higher. If you're in long, I'd move the stop to catch in just a little more profit, but here we go, it's gonna pop. Watch. Pop it, pop it. Meanwhile, here I am on the sidelines. Watch, here we go. Pop it. One more little thrust and it should have the 36. Come on, bulls. Take out the liquidity of that bear candle. That's what you want. You wanna punish them. Now, if there are some aggressive bears, they may punish the bulls who just punish them. You see, it's a back and forth, but I think given the context of the day, it takes out that liquidity that we're targeting at 36. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. There we go. Keep it going. Come on. It's times like these where you just want it to pop and it never does. always takes its time, right when you want it to keep going. Come on. Pop it up to 36, baby. Let Dr. Newman go to Tendy Town. I'm about out of coffee. Once this trade is done, I'm going to have to take a little coffee break and assess the situation for the day. I think it goes. Come on. 2 minutes left in the candle. Here we go. There's some buying pressure. Poppy, poppy. And take profit would have been hit. All right, guys. Look at that. That was an A+ situation. Now, if it keeps going, it could get to that psych level. But given how the day has started with this channel activity, I'm a little sketchy about the psych level. If I was going to do another trade right now, if I thought it was going to keep going up, I would try to get in for a run to the psych level. But I don't really feel the need to do that right now because I'm green. I'm green all across the board today. And, well, I could do a few other evals. Let's do that. Let's call it for the day on those evals. I've got 2 more take profit evals that I could trade. So if something good happens, I'll give them a try. Let's see. We've got this one and that one. All right. Try to get it set up so I don't miss the move. All right, I'm set up. All right, that's good. Just checking my Replicanto trade copier, an excellent trade copier. 934. All right, looks like it wants to push, especially with that close. I'm gonna play. Oh goodness. Let's see. I think we're gonna get a push to the psych level. Oh my goodness. But you know what? On a day like today, let me move my buy stop a little higher. Yeah. It could also, just beware if you think it's going to go to the psych level. On a day like today, I've seen this many times. It can keep doing like a chop channel. So it could go higher, and right before it gets to your target, it could rotate lower again. But the good news is, if it rotates lower on a day like today, where you have this sort of channel action, you're going to get another opportunity like this more than likely. And if you get it, stay in the trade. Don't be like what I just did. Okay, but let's look at this opportunity we have now. All right, I think they want to take it to the psych level. It's getting above this former resistance area. We're about to be tagged in. I want it to be quick and decisive. My stop will go right below this candle if we get tagged in. Thanks, man. Yeah, I've been watching these markets for thousands of hours. Really, they do the same thing over and over again every day. As you can see, the biggest challenge is getting your your discipline and mindset right, where you can, wait till signal candles closed, messed up on that one, and stay in trades until they take profit. So these are two things I can work on. Again, be advised if you think there's a pop to the psych level, that today is like a channel day to me. It's looking a little suspect. If this candle closes bearish, then I'm not going to try to enter for a push to the psych level. But if it closes bullish, I will. But this candle right here will tell the tale, because this was a range, remember? This was a range. This is part of a bigger range. And what did we do? We bought at the low of the range, right? And we sold at the top. You could flip it short. If you want to be real aggressive, you can. But keep in mind, you might be wanting another dopamine hit, because I know you just had a winner. And look at the people who went short on this one and this one. They probably were wishing that they didn't, but then again, you had people who went short on this one. So it can be done. I'm not going to do it, but if you do, just keep your sizing appropriate, man. That's all I can say. Keep your sizing appropriate. All right, we've got 1:23 left in this candle. It's looking like it might want to rotate back down. If so, we'll get another good buying opportunity at some point. If you're very aggressive, you can short it. Yeah, but if you're shorting here, you've got margin to do that. So why wouldn't you have margin to close that short out and then go long? Oh, okay. So where did you take a loss? Did you take a trade that I didn't take? Is that why you're... it was on that bull flag breakout. That's right. The second one that didn't work. Yeah, that one got me in a hole too. And then this one got me out of the hole plus some. So that's why I'm shutting it down on those accounts for the day. I've switched to other accounts. Margarine. All right, look at this. We might get tagged in for a burst up to the psych level if the bulls can decide to. Although, look at, they're selling on the last candle. That's not a very strong sign. But see, it might not matter. You can think of this as a bull flag too, can't you? Because really, that's a little range. There were people short right there. I'm going to lower my stop in just a little bit, just to get a better price. All right, well, hey, that's good. If it were me and I were up today with real money, I would take only A+ setups from now on. This is not an A+ setup. Why is this not an A+ setup? Because price has been channeling. If it was a day where it was like what we call a spike day, and it was in the first hour, then I would like the play to the psych level as A+. But given the time of day, it's nearly 11 o'clock, this doesn't have the same odds of getting the burst that I want to see. But it's still worth a try on some fresh evals. I mean, it could still happen. If not, big deal. I'm about to need a coffee refill. I'm almost out. All right, I think we're going to get another chance for a long pretty soon. Unless it makes a push to the psych level. All right. I'll tell you another thing. Near the top in half hours, like 30 minutes after the hour, and at the top of the hour, you'll get algos doing like impulsive moves. So it's conceivable that since we're at 10:57, we get an 11 o'clock algo push to a psych level. It could also be an 11 o'clock algo rotation down lower. So I would expect a bigger size candle at 11 o'clock. Let's see what happens. We're going fishing again. I've got my fishing robe on. Oh, you see this? Nice. Today's a nice thick one. Nice thick fishing robe. Yeah, I don't want to go long anymore because my instinct tells me it's going to be a rotation lower. So I'm going to just wait and see what happens. It's not feeling too bullish. But you know, I can change my mind if this candle closes bullish. There's still a minute left. Did you see what they just did? They took the stop losses below that one. Okay. They're going to play that little game, huh? They're going to play that little game. Well, the last time they played that game, we got faked out. So I don't know if I want to play that game again. Remember, we were in this bull flag, and I went long there and got taken out. It's good to be positive on the day, Dr. Newman. That's good. It's where you want to be. 17 seconds till 11. Just in case they push it higher with this algo candle. Let's see. It might dump. That's a dumperino. There's that algo candle. Algo candle dumperoonie. Oh, look at that. It dumped. It's making those people concerned. Now, are they going to keep making it go higher, or are they going to rotate it down? That's a lot of risk. I'm going to take that order off and see what happens. But did you notice how at 11 o'clock there was that huge flurry of activity? It's important to be aware of times of day. There are key times of the day when price really moves. 10 o'clock is one of them. 11 o'clock is one of them, and 11:30 is one of them. They're you know. Oh, did you get a quick scalp? Were you nimble? Yeah, that would have been a good quick scalp for a short. They might push it to the psych level yet. I'm going to prepare myself. Good job. Yeah, I'd want to close my short too if I saw it dump and then be bought up like that. Yeah, could be. Hey, 22 points. How many micros did you have on? That's a good trade. Good scalp. is now the push to the psych level we've been waiting for? Let's see. Maybe, maybe not. Good thing he closed out that short. Come on, baby. Just one, hey. So now you're up $52 on the day minus commissions. That's good. Right? I mean, you do that every day, you know, that's over $200 a week. If you're consistent, that's some nice tendy town. The key is getting consistent. Good job. That's excellent, man. Way to trust your instincts too. Like I said, don't ever let anybody tell you how to trade. If what you're seeing makes sense to you, go with it. The purpose of my channel is just to show people what I look at and how it makes sense to me. I want to go refill my coffee, but I've got to be ready if I get tagged into my entry to put my stop loss and take profit. What's the low of that candle in case I get tagged in? The low is 620, so I do 619. All right, that's a lot of risk, man. Okay. Oh well. Eval accounts, right? It's a lot of risk though. I don't like it. But it is what it is. It might work. There again, it might just flop around in a chop. The last thing I want to see is another situation like this where we think it's going to burst higher and then this happens again. So how this candle closes is going to determine my next move. 6 seconds to close. What kind of close are we going to get? Ugh, look at that doji. Yeesh. No thanks. We got a range here. Look at that range. Look at that doji. Just in case, I'm going to put a buy stop in above that candle. Just in case, but I don't think it's looking very bullish at this point for a pump to the psych level. I think it's more likely we rotate and get an opportunity to buy much lower. Let's check out the trading view again. Yeah, we're going to test the 21 EMA again. Very likely. Very likely. See, they just made those bulls pay. Now, the question is, does it stop here or keep going down to where it was before? Let me get rid of that buy stop I had. Yeah, it could be. They're already buying it up. But I'm going to learn from my mistake from last time. And if it goes up, that's fine. And it is going up. But see, there's still 3 minutes in this candle. And based on what happened to me on this last trade, I'm not going to enter anything. I'm going to try to learn from my mistake. So if I miss this, that's fine. Because what you have to realize is the market's not going anywhere. It offers opportunities every single day. No matter what kind of macro condition we're in, no matter what the VIX is, price moves in very similar ways. All right. I bet you we get buying here, but there are 2 minutes left until this candle closes. I'm going to do a quick coffee refill. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we're back. Boy, you don't know how bad I want to get in right now, but this candle just started. Chances are it goes higher and takes out this bear candle. The problem for me is I can't keep practicing my rule of getting in too early. And you see I was just safe. If I had gotten in early, I'd already be stopped out. All right, let's see what the price does here. Make sure I don't have any orders on. Look at that, looks like a possible double top. Wouldn't surprise me to see either some support come in here or see price go all the way to where we started the session. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at that buying. This could be just a continuation of the channel, but we have to be patient. Let's see. Bigger picture, 5 minute. So here's my game plan. If this closes bullish, I'll place a buy stop above this candle, targeting the high of this bearish candle. If this continues lower, I'll wait till it gets to a place where it finds some buying, and then I'll go long from there and target a reasonable place. But what we have to do is just be patient. Be right back, guys. All right, well, I hope the log works. We've still got a minute left. Woo! Just tested the VWAP. Let's see what happens. Still a minute. Now, it wouldn't surprise me here to see price reverse back and test the 21 EMA, but we've still got a minute for it to play out. Still got a minute. Yeah, I think there's some buying that went on at the VWAP. Let's see, I'm going to do this in case they start buying it back up. I'm going to go like so. That way they'll prove that they're moving it up. It could keep going back down. It could keep going down, I should say. If it starts heading back up again from here, it's probably going to hit the 21 EMA. Oh, there, looks like it might want to dump and test the opening. All right, let's be patient. 33 seconds. Okay, there's some buying coming on. Look at this ugly expanding triangle. Yeesh. That's a challenging situation to trade. Yeah, there's some buying coming in now. That's good. Let's see if it holds. Let's see. Time will tell if my magic trend lines work. Not a big fan of trend lines, but they can be all right sometimes. Let's see if I get tagged in. Okay. Another magnet effect possibly. If price can get up here, it's likely to hit the 21 EMA again. You see this big old fat range? High, low, you want to buy low, sell high if this is the range they want to define. Let's see what happens. Could also keep rotating down. You see the 930 candle. Would not surprise me at all. Could have a break. Let's see. If I go long there, my stop will be 525.75, and I'll target 86. Whoa. All right, let's see what happens. 525. Let's see if the buyers can push it back to the 21 EMA, or if the sellers want to push it even further. If you were real confident it was going to rotate back up, you could place your target all the way up here, but I'm not going to be that aggressive. If I'm fortunate enough to get a win, I'm just going to take my 20 points. Let's see what happens. Definitely some buying going on. Looks like I might get tagged in. Let's see. We got some people mowing the lawn outside in this neighborhood. I think every day in this neighborhood they either have a lawnmower, a leaf blower, a chainsaw, what else? A weed whacker, a tree lopper. There's always some sort of power equipment vying for your attention. Doctor, are you still long? Okay, where's your stop? I want to see a pushback to the 21 EMA, but this is looking like there's some selling coming in it. Super T in the house. Exactly. All right. I think we should get a pop to the 21 if this closes bullish. This is an interesting candle. It might not close bullish. It might pop lower. Let's see. They take, oof. Oof. Now let's see if buyers come in or if the bears take it all the way to 494. I'm thinking it's gonna rotate all the way down to the IBL. What's the IBL, you say? IBL is the inner balance low. This was from yesterday. Oh man, if this one closes bullish, hold on. 554, okay. That's pretty bullish. Let me move my buy stop entry down there. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. This is not an A+ reversal setup, but it's still a potential reversal setup because price reached a logical market objective, and then it's likely that if it can run those stops, it can go to another magnet, which in this case is the 21 EMA, so 580 is the target. Okay. We'll see. I think we're about to get tagged in. Let's see what happens. If it can run these stops of the shorts, we're going to be long. If the shorts are determined, they could drive it lower. Looks like the bulls are stepping up. Come on, bulls. Let's push it. Push it to that 21 EMA. Come on. My entry is 554 if it happens. My stop will be below the entry candle. The bulls have about 3 minutes to make the bears start sweating. Again, if you're long in this and you feel really confident, you can target all the way up around 56.40 level, but this is not looking very bullish all of a sudden. Let's see. Yeah, see, they're taking it to test the IBL. I'm going to wait. Yeah. See, here's the IBL right here. 477. They're going to test at least the body of this opening candle, which was 494. Right now it's gotten to 497. It'll get to at least 494 probably. So that's what I would like to see. Let's see if it gets down to 494. Then that means, oh yeah, there it went. Okay, so now the question we have is, does it respect this range which was identified by the IBL? I'm gonna put the technical level right here, but I use the bodies too. It was probably still gonna punch down actually to like 470. Where was 1030? 1030 level. Okay. Okay, so this is our range, that framework that we're in for the day. That was the low of the day so far, and that's the high within the first hour. That's what IBL means, is what does price do in the first hour? Look what happened right here. So price has tested IBL. Now, does it rotate higher in the range, or do we get a continuation of this move down to this pivot point? That's what remains to be seen now. If you look at this big picture, you might expect there to be some buying coming in, because we're in a breakout pullback zone from yesterday. You see price broke above yesterday's high. This might be nothing more than a pullback, but then again, we might get a dump to this pivot point. What was the low of yesterday? That was the low, the prior session lows all the way down there. The good thing is though, we're seeing some movement now. You cannot say that price is not moving any longer. This is good. You're not still in that long, are you, doctor? A little buy. Okay. A little buy. Okay. We might get a rotation to the VWAP. Let's see. Where was your stop though? You can't be trading futures without a stop. Like, I'm going to have to admonish you for a second. If your family's still watching you, don't feel bad, just learn. You got to always have a stop. And if you don't have a platform that has a stop, get one. It's not hard. I can tell you how to set it up. Yeah, see, this thing might keep going lower. Oh man, you could have an expanding triangle like this too. Let's see. Woo. Is your family listening? Is Sammy in there watching this? She can't see the P&L, can she? You gotta always hide that. That's one of the secrets. I hope that she's in another room. Because you were up for the day, right? Okay. Well, you might get saved. Let's see. You might have a chance. What I'm thinking about is, look, price went to the IBL, and look, now it's having a reversal. Looks like buyers are coming in. IBL is a logical market objective. If this can close bullish, it can rotate back to the VWAP. You see? But the problem is, with 2 minutes to go, if this closes bearish, we could get a mega dump to this pivot point. So that's what I'm waiting on to see. Let's take a look up close and personal and see what these players are doing. We just follow what they do. Do they buy it up and rotate it higher in this range, which was defined by IBL and IBH? Or do they decide to take it much lower to another logical market objective, i.e. a key level? It's all about levels. Looks like they're buying. That's good for the doctor. Let's see though. We got 1 minute and 45 seconds. What are they going to do? The good news is price is moving. Today you can't say it's boring. And the VIX is actually down from yesterday. It's only about 17. It's down 2.5% from yesterday. And it's still moving well. Ooh, here comes a dump. Oh man. If the bulls are going to make a stand, now's the time to do it. You want to talk about psych levels, they might take it down to 400 if they decide to dump it. And then below that you've got a pivot point. So this is a key moment for the bulls. Come on, bulls. Do it for the doctor. Do it for the doctor. Do it for the doctor. Oh, they're stepping up. Got some buying going on. I'm going to place a buy stop above this at 485. Just in case they decide to run it. Look at that. 480. I'll say 487. Come on, bulls. Don't let the bears take this one. Let's see. If I was bearish, I'd be a little worried about this for now. But look, this is a doji. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. The bears might be in trouble. Let's see what happens. Let's see. If the bulls can rotate it higher, the first target will be the VWAP. Now this could also be a bear flag now. If it gets below this price, it's going to dump. You see, but if it gets above here, it's going to pump. So we're just in wait and see mode. You saw that initial buying going on, it quickly rejected by the sellers. I'm going to go ahead and place a psych level sell just in case at like 420. Well, hold on now. Let's see what happens. Yeah, let's go here. I think it might get to the psych level. If buyers come in though, I'll have no problem going long. None at all. But if the sellers dump it, they're going to take it to the psych level below probably. Let's see. Put my stop here. Okay. Let's see if the sellers can finish the job. we'll see. Bulls are stepping up. I think they may want to take it to the psych level. Let's see. Maybe not. Let's go. Come on down. Bulls stepping in. I like to front run my levels by a few points, so if it gets down to that psych level, I've got to take profit at about 402, but it might not get there. Looks like some bulls are stepping up. I might be toast. If that's the case, I have no problem reversing. None at all. Should probably have my stop about there, actually. It's okay. With 18 seconds, buyers are appearing. All right, I'm probably going to get stopped out and then I'm going to reverse to long, if I do. Here comes some bears. Maybe they want to finish the drill. Let's see. Maybe not. This is one of the candles where it's painful to watch. I'm going to get stopped out, I have a feeling. Yep. Okay, that's fine. I'll let it play out and then I'll go long. Hey, wait a second. If I get stopped out, I'm going to go long above this one. Okay, could be a reversal situation. Let's see, high was 480, so I'll say 480.75 and I'll target the VWAP. Where was VWAP? 520, okay. Okay. I think we're going to be able to test the VWAP. Let's see. So what looked to be initially a dump below IBL now has seen buying come in. So we might get a rotation all the way in this range. Okay, about to get tagged in. I believe. Put my stop below the entry candle. If this one doesn't work, it will be time for me to stop for the day. All right, so far so good. It's looking like it wants to go to that VWAP. Let's go. Let's go. Push it up. Let's see. Yeah, 520. Okay. 494. The low was 444. Okay. Uh-oh. If it stops me out here, I'm definitely going to call it a day, because that will be just a chop zone. But it could make a burst to VWAP. Let's see. Punch it up, baby. That's pretty good buying going on. Let's see if it takes that buy side liquidity to the left. Looking good. Keep it going. Keep it going. Take it to the VWAP. All right. We're in 9 micros. Is that aggressive? Yes. Is this an eval? Yes. Come on. Push it up. Take that buy side liquidity. Punch it. Let's see what happens here. I want to see it pop. Let's pop to 519.50. Come on. If it gets above the 500s, it's got a real good chance. Okay, let's go. Punch it. Punch it. This is where you want to take profit, but you gotta let the trade work out. This is something I've been working on. Come on. Punch it to VWAP. Come on, baby. Come on. Punch it. Punch it. Let's go. Few more points. Let's go. So close. Come on, baby. Come on. Get up there. Get up there. Get that VWAP. Come on, don't do this to me. Pop it. Pop it, pop it, pop it. Oh my, oh yeah. Hey, nice trade. Nice trade. Okay. Let's see how that affected my, wow. Okay. I have had a great day. Thank you, doctor. That was one of my reversal setups. And why did I do it? Well, let me tell you what I was thinking about. And then I'm going to shut it down for the day, because I'm feeling too excited right now, and I don't need to trade when I'm excited. That felt really good. Okay, so you saw where I notated the IBL and the IBH, right? Okay, what are those again? Within the first hour, the low and high that price makes will often define a framework of a range. Most days in the market are ranges, like 62% according to my current stats that I keep. I keep them daily. Been keeping them for over a year with this particular stat. So if you know that over 60% of days are range days, then once it's framed, you can look for logical areas to get in. So what happened was price went down and tested the low, and it could have kept going down lower, but what happened instead, wow, okay, sorry guys, I just saw something really good. What happened instead was that it found buying going on at the IBL, and when that's the case, I'm looking to run stops on people who are on the wrong side of the market. If you were short around IBL and buying started happening, which you can tell there's buying by that lower wick, and you put an entry in above that, and then you get obvious buying going on, then what I do is I target the first key level that it has to run into, which in this case was the VWAP. And you see what happened? It came up to it, and now it's selling a little bit. Now, could it keep going up? Absolutely. It could keep going up all the way. In fact, by the end of the session, I sort of expect price to test the 640 level. But for me, in my personality, I'm not looking for huge moves. I'm looking for those quick hitters like what you just saw. And so I'm satisfied. That's my trading style. Someone might want to buy at the low of the range and run it all the way to the top, and that's valid. But see, price can move around so much and do what you don't think that there's no guarantee it's going to keep going higher. In fact, it may even make a move lower. But who knows? That's what's beautiful about it. It's like fishing. You just don't know until you get out there and throw the line in and you read the water. You look at the clouds. You see if you see any insects swimming around. You just got to analyze a lot of information. It's the best game in the world. And it is a game, but it's a game where if you play it, you can be rewarded. So I hope you found this live stream to be rewarding. Thank you for those who came in and viewed me. I had quite a bit of more viewers today than the other day. So maybe with time this channel will grow. That's my hope, and I want to help as many people as possible just learn about the markets and think about it from a logical point of view. And all right guys, so until next time, I hope you have a great day, and I'm signing off for now. Bye.